lead lap cars. He's currently running 20th, but a lap down. 19 cars on the lead lap. Back there in 15th is Brandon Jones. Ryan Truex running in 13th. Ross Chastain is 12th, maintaining that spot that he said he had to, anywhere from 10th to 15th.
So I'm going to take a shot at Jeff here because he says it every week, but it's for good reason. Restarts, Jeff. You've got to get those spots on restarts because, as we see Chastain right there underneath Tiff, not a lot of room. We got a little nervous there. Truex falls through. Just not a lot of movement after the restart. Everyone settles in, and they're just so protective of that bottom lane.
Yeah, that's so important. Ross Chastain, a aggressive move on the two of Matt Tiff. Drove underneath him off turn 4, and then they almost got together getting into one.
Well, why is that important? Look at the left side of your screen, right? Matt Tiff. Right there. Only +4 currently as they run because he's outside of that stage.
Hey, Steve, you just radioed in no rear grip. I guess not, right?
Well, welcome to Dover. I've seen that before. Just you make no changes sometimes. Because of the vertical loading here, any tire variation from set to set, Jeff, could be a huge difference. This is a place that Goodyear always seems to get the blame. It's not any different than any other racetrack as far as the tires they bring. Just with all that vertical load, any sort of variation is multiplied for the driver.
Yeah, the speed here on this size racetrack, when the car drives a little bad, it's a lot on lap time. It's just if it's loose, the driver can't hustle. He can't lean on the car the way he needs to, and it's just no way to make lap time here loose to the middle of the corner.
Practice yesterday, Justin Allgaier was extremely strong, and he's showing that once again today. At the start of this race, the start of the second stage, he's jumped out front, now trying to check out on Daniel Hemrick. Did this in the first race here at Dover earlier this year, where he ended up winning stage 2 and the race. He's trying to do that again. Dave.
And Rick, in winning that race, he started his string of wins in the 2018 series. Remember, he's won 5 times, but he hadn't won on the season until they won here. His crew chief, Jason Burdett, told me, yep, this year's been good. We seem to run well where we're supposed to and win. We seem to, struggle maybe where we struggle. So we can just keep doing that. We'll get through this round this afternoon, Marty.
Dave, we've seen a start and a restart in today's race. Both times, Daniel Hemrick lost the lead. After he lost the lead the last time, he said second gear just won't go. They're thinking maybe something might be wrong. It's hard to shift out of second gear, but he said we might be in trouble on restarts all day long. Just won't go in second gear for that 21 car.
Running second, chasing after Justin Allgaier, a self-proclaimed perfectionist. He's a graphics and design specialist, but he wants to make sure everything's just right, like running up front here at Dover.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shear she shed.
She shear?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
We will be adding a soy option to the cafeteria menu starting in the new year. The east parking lot will be repaved next week, so plan on using the south parking lot instead. You could also use the... Sir? Sir.
Escape to football at Buffalo Wild Wings and try our new game day menu featuring $5 cheeseburgers and fries, brats, cocktails, and pitchers.
So with Rocket Mortgage, someone was always there whenever we needed help.
That's why they're #1 in customer satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like they make the experience seamless.
Rocket Mortgage, proud supporter of college athletics.
I'm Adam, and I make robots. The new Surface Pro can handle all of my programs. I can paint, I can mold, I can code. I can take an idea from a sketch and turn it into a real product in one device. It's pretty amazing.
Spring, the culmination of new life. It has required a full season of rain to nourish and grow these wild blooms. But swift death arrives without warning. The circle of life, such a delicate thing. 4 changes everything.
Buy Xbox One, get Forza Horizon 4.
Sunday Night Football. Yes, it's Lone Star State Showdown. The Cowboys will take on the Texans. Football night in America, 7 p.m. Eastern. Kickoff 8:20 p.m. That's tomorrow night. Only on NBC. Who do you got in that one, guys? Cowboys, Texans? Preference?
And no offense, but I can never root for the Cowboys, so I'm going Texans.
Yeah, whoever the Cowboys are playing, I'm a fan
underdog,
of that
underdog
team.
look?
Mr. Jimmy up here is a big Cowboys fan, so I cheer against him out of principle.
Ooh, big wiggle there out of Justin Allgaier.
It's been a hard few years for Jimmy. I think 30 years maybe.
We mentioned restarts, and Marty touched upon it as far as Daniel Hemrick and the struggles that he has had. Let's take a look at the 2 starts that he's had so far in this race.
I heard a conversation. Marty said he was complaining about the restarts and how it was in second gear, but it looks like it launches okay, but when he gets to the corner on the outside, he just can't make the car stick, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. It's okay out of the zone. It's just he can't attack turn 1 like I think he needs to. And there's no surprise that they're complaining about the gear ratios. Dover is a very interesting track. Let's listen to the RPM here. I mean, that's 3rd to 4th. That last shift, it looked fine to me. It's more of a corner issue. What I was saying, one thing about Dover is this small, tight pit road. It's very slow for a very fast racetrack, unless you run a tall rear gear. So it's one of those tracks, Jeff, where pit road speed sounds to be pretty easy. Here it was always a challenge whether you ran second or first gear, and then that trickles down and affects your restart ratios.
Again, into lap traffic, and Allgaier trying to keep Daniel Hemrick, that 4 or 5 car length lead that he has. But again, he's coming up on Yaley in the 38 to put Yaley a lap down. Ryan Sieg got the free pass from the end of stage 1, and he'll be the next one that this 7 will get to.
Hey, Steve, now's the time to jump on Justin Allgaier. He just reported in, man, oh man, I can't keep the right rear under me, sideways, no rear grip, and I'm plowing tight. Steve, I guess clean air isn't always the answer, is it?
No, I mean, that would be concerning, because with clean air in a track like Dover, you should be able to try to hold this position off. But you see him move up the racetrack in the middle of the corner. I really believe that's just not being able to commit to the wheel, right? That question the right rear tire, Jeff?
So here we are on the left side of the screen. Justin Allgaier running first. On the right side of the screen, Daniel Hemrick running second. So look, see, on the left side of the screen, you see Allgaier with the wheel cranking it to the right on corner exit. That's loose. You can see the run coming from Daniel Hemrick. He's able to just tug on his wheel. Puts a little bit of left wheel to it. Not really turning back to the right. Watch this right here. Allgaier to the right, big time. Hemrick took the air right off the spoiler. Hemrick's got the advantage.
Hemrick trying to take the lead back away. On the inside of the track, he will. Hemrick out front at Dover.
If you can't just lay wheel to it through the corner, just turn the wheel to the left, be able to accelerate. That means you're not having the rear grip you need. And as I said earlier, you'd love to race a car loose here because it's easy on the right front tire. But you can't carry enough speed if you are too loose, and that's what we see right now with Allgaier. He just does not have rear grip.
Allgaier drops back to second now. Christopher Bell running third after a poor pit stop. Spencer Gallagher still holds on to the 4th spot. Then it's Cole Custer at 5th. Cindric, Sadler, Preece, John Hunter Nemechek, and Tyler Reddick are the top 10. And points on the side. Those are playoff contenders. And right now, Ross Chastain outside of the playoff picture. Matt Tiff moved up into that 8th spot.
You just mentioned Ross Chastain in the 11th position, just outside those stage points. He is working the middle of the racetrack, trying to run down the 9 of Tyler Reddick. Jeff, we talk about moving around. Well, look at this right here. Ross Chastain doesn't even try to go to the bottom. Up the hill, gets the car turned, gives him a big run off the corner. Lap time-wise, I think he's gaining a little bit on the 9, Kelly.
Well, and Ross Chastain saying that he's just too tight to run the top. They tried to make an adjustment. They made a chassis adjustment when he came down pit road, but I don't know how much has helped Ross as he tries to work his way. He's got 4 points right now showing below that cut line. Behind him, you'll find the 11 of Ryan Truex, another driver trying to make something happen. He's up a couple of spots since the restart, but as he tries to chase down that 4 car, here's what his team observes.
Man, I know it's frustrating to you, but we get beat so bad off the corner. Like what the Ford just drives away from us off the corner.
So it's off the corner there to start this race. Ryan Truex was just saying that he didn't have any right rear grip, and he also said he got really loose as rubber built up on the track.
Thanks, Kelly. And Christopher Bell has led 47 laps, Allgaier 23, and now Daniel Hemrick, 9 laps up front. Go NASCAR nonstop.
Hey, if you're feeling a little power hungry, check out the engine lineup Ford is cooking up for the Ford F-150. You want the most torque? You got it. You want the best towing? All yours. Or maybe you want best-in-class fuel economy? No problem. Or how about a brand spanking new diesel? Sure. You want fries with that? Crazy. It's like a power smorgasbord. This is the Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
What's the secret to a great steak at home? Ordering it from Outback. Easily enjoy all your favorites when you order Outback delivery or curbside takeaway right now. Outback Steakhouse. Aussie rules.
NASCAR fans, are you ready to take your Wi-Fi to the next level? Then you need Xfinity X5, a more powerful way to stay connected. It gives you super fast speeds for all your devices, Wi-Fi coverage that leaves no room behind, and lets you control your network with the X5 app. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience. Xfinity X5, proud partner of NASCAR.
Now with a 2 for $6 deal, pick from the new Crispy Chicken Tenders, or the Crispy Chicken Sandwich, or the Spicy Crispy Chicken, or the Flame Grilled Whopper. Match or mix. Any two will cost you $6. Only at Burger King.
Bank of America gives Matt the power to stay on top of his money, so he keeps Brutus comfortable.
Erica, when was my last transaction at Pupper Pillows?
Okay, here's what I found.
That went by fast. Hey, buddy. Want to take a ride to the pet store?
Just talk, type, or tap to view past transactions and more. It's easier than ever with Erica, your virtual financial assistant, only from Bank of America.
I'm just fulfilling my destiny.
I think crowd reaction, whether it's good, whether it's bad,
I sure as heck don't need no introduction.
I think it's a positive thing. They either like me or they don't.
Kyle Busch, he'll win a ticket to the second round.
Or they do and they don't, both in the same breath.
I'm just fulfilling my destiny. 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 I'm just fulfilling my destiny.
The Gander Outdoors 400 from Dover on NBCSN.
You're watching Xfinity Series Racing from Dover, the Bar Harbor 200, and a huge pass by the 4 of Ross Chastain. You saw it on NASCAR Nonstop as he got by Tyler Reddick. That puts Ross Chastain now into the top 10, which means stage points. That's what he's looking for. He's now 2 points below the cutoff line.
Think of Austin Cindric. He's currently running 6th. He ran well, ran 8th in the first stage. So he's scoring points in each stage, yet he can't shake this 4 car. Ross Chastain right there.
And the car in front of Ross Chastain, he's too far out there to get him, but John Hunter Nemechek driving that 42 that Ross Chastain won his race in, led so many laps. That's who's in his windshield trying to run him down. Not enough time to get there, but that's got to be a good feeling to be driving this 4 car and running right behind a Ganassi car.
And pit road is closed. 2 laps to go as Austin Cindric currently running in the 6th spot. Marty?
And it looks right now like he will finish in that 6th position. He might be able to get 5th, but running out of time with just 2 to go. That would be 8 stage points. Remember, he came in 9 below the cut line. They have preached to him all weekend long. Stage points, stage points, stage points. He'll get 8 in these first 2 stages if he hangs on. That's big.
Very big. Cindric coming in was 9 points behind Ross Chastain. And again, these stage points add up, giving him a great opportunity.
Nice work, bud. Nice work.
To advance into the 2nd round. But stage 2 winner, Daniel Hemrick, gaining a playoff point as well as 10 points for this race. In the 4 with the lowest amount of points at the end of this race are eliminated from the playoffs.
And normally I wouldn't say this with Tyler Reddick, who ended up 11th. I know that isn't good, but this is a driver that has been seemingly over-driving and making mistakes. I was impressed that he didn't fight the 4. Let him go, keep his car in one piece, battle to the finish.
And that's what Daniel Hemrick was able to do. He lost the lead on the restart, was able to battle back, get by Justin Allgaier, and went on to win Stage 2. Final stage coming up.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shear she shed.
She shear?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Okay, one more.
All right, Benji.
Come on,
Benji.
yes, smile.
What about the flash?
Okay, one more. Benjamin, hold
Make
it sideways.
a flash, Benji. You have to back it up. You want to get everybody in. You can't get everybody in unless you back up.
He did it.
There you go.
I think he got it.
Take another
So
shot.
what?
Take one
I
more.
think I blinked.
Escape to football at Buffalo Wild Wings and try our new game day menu featuring $5 cheeseburgers and fries, brats, cocktails, and pitchers.
And even though Rocket Mortgage is completely online, you're never alone. So if you need help or if you have questions, you can always call or chat with a home loan expert. They're really with you every step of the way.
Rocket Mortgage, America's largest mortgage lender.
I'm always going to be a maker, and I think a company is the coolest thing you can build. I'm Adam, and I make robots. You never know when inspiration's going to strike, so I take my Surface Pro everywhere. Part of an entrepreneur's job is to get stuff done. I like to do like 4 things at once. The new Surface Pro can handle all of my programs. I can paint, I can mold, I can code. I have it on all the time. It's fantastic. We get to build toys for kids and change the world. It's a big deal.
$2.99 for a Car Hop Classic. What a steal.
Steal. That's a heist. Put this on.
Disguise.
I don't think I can eat in this. It's all part of the plan, my friend.
Get a quarter-pound double cheeseburger or a Slinger Plus Tots for $2.99. Try it today.
NASCAR on NBCSN is brought to you by Arby's. Arby's, we have the meat. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Dave.
Stage points for both the red 7 of Justin Allgaier and the black and white 20 of Christopher Bell. For Bell, fired tight, just too loose now. Justin Allgaier, no front grip, Marty.
One very large playoff point for Daniel Hemrick. He said his car is too tight on exit. He can't move up the track like he would like. You see that right side wedge adjustment for that team. He said he also can't get back to the gas as the track rubbers up. But he told Danny Stockman, we've cut all of our issues in half. Just give me a little bit more of what we had last time. Also some tape on the grill. And another fantastic stop by the 21 team. They'll easily this time win the race off pit road.
Interesting, though. Spencer Gallagher, Cole Custer making up some ground. They're able to get off the pit road before Allgaier. Hemrick, though, leading at Dover.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shear she shed.
She shear?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
We will be adding a soy option to the cafeteria menu starting in the new year. The east parking lot will be repaved next week, so plan on using the south parking lot instead. You could also use the... Sir? Sir.
Escape to football at Buffalo Wild Wings and try our new game day menu featuring $5 cheeseburgers and fries, brats, cocktails, and pitchers.
And Rocket Mortgage has Rate Shield, that you lock in your interest rate while you shop for your new home. So if rates go up, you don't have to worry. And if rates go down, you get the lower rate. They really have you covered.
Rocket Mortgage, America's largest mortgage lender.
Some developing news since we left you before the commercial break. Dale Jr., I know you wanted to talk about Daniel Hemrick, but not for these reasons.
Yeah, Daniel Hemrick has been busted speeding on pit road, so he's going to have to go to the back. This guy's been doing an incredible job today, gaining a lot of stage points and also a playoff point. And so this has gone bad for him, and it's the final stage. It'll be hard for him to make up that track position, put himself back in position to be able to win this race. So anyway, still, it's been a good day for him. If you look at the overall points that have been gained today, those guys have done good work. The Hemrick at 19, Christopher Bell, who's already locked into the next round at 19, Justin Allgaier doing a good job. Look at Spencer Gallagher, though. Spencer Gallagher is doing a great job today, running in the top 5 in both stages. He's going to restart first. Marty.
And Daniel Hemrick will restart 18th officially. And Danny Stockman told him on the radio, said, hey, bud, we all make mistakes, but you need to put your big boy pants on and go make something happen now. It's going to be fun to watch that 21 come through the field. Krista?
Yeah, absolutely. 12 drivers in the playoffs. Only one knows he's safe. Daniel Hemrick has done everything right, and now he's going to have to just drive like his season is on the line, because basically it is. The next 100-plus laps, it comes down to everything if you want to still be eligible for the championship. We can't wait to see what unfolds. Drivers like Austin Cindric, Brandon Jones, they've had great performances on the track. What will happen in these 100-plus laps? It all comes down to this.
Race leader Spencer Gallagher took the outside line. It has not worked out for the race leader at all yet, because Cole Custer was on the inside. He took the lead on the restart.
I hope some crew chiefs, since the spotters are taking score, because that's 0 for 3 on the outside. So as Christopher Bell, he's redefining the outside.
One other piece of good news for the 21, even though he got that speeding penalty, even though he wasn't locked in based upon a win, he has now clinched a spot in the second round because of points. The points that he was able to gain through the first 2 stages and the point lead he had over the cut line coming into this race, he's now safe to move on.
You should get on the radio and tell him, because it might make the pain a little bit less of what's ahead of him, as he's currently 19th working through traffic.
How about Spencer Gallagher racing? Having a great day. He's running the top 5 all day. Doing a really good job. Allgaier just got by him for second. Allgaier's trying to run Cole Custer down. Cole Custer still looking for that first win
this season.
Cole Custer absolutely dominated Homestead last year. Just destroyed the field. It wasn't even close.
The spot in the playoffs, just so you know.
There you go.
Thank you. I don't want to tell him yet, but that's good news.
That's Danny Stockman.
Yeah, that's Danny Stockman talking to Brandon Lyons, the spotter, the crew chief talking.
And so Daniel Hemrick still fighting back there, but he will advance to the round of 8 based upon the points that he has already earned today.
So that he's clinched. That's the go button. Go get you some. It's going to be hard, but take chances. Go do what you got to do. Let's go win this race. Looking for his first win. It would be huge to get a win today. It's going to be hard from where they are, but to me, if I'm driving that race car and I hear I'm clinched, I'm going, man. I'm going for it. Have nothing to lose.
Jeff, you see the 20 of Christopher Bell now working on his teammate Ryan Preece. Lost 7 spots on that stop, lost 2 on the previous spot. Only response I got on this one was, yeah, it was slow. So that's something they've really got to clean up as the playoffs move on.
And on top of that, very uncharacteristic for a Joe Gibbs racing team. Typically, they kind of set the standard on pit road. They always do a good job on pit road, but even thinking about Brandon Jones' team, you know, they've lost spots on pit road today. Now, Ryan Preece, he gained spots that time. So a little bit mixed bag on Joe Gibbs racing on pit road so far today.
How about the 22 of Austin Cindric, though? Right now running in the 6th position, and he's currently 3 points above the cut line.
All right, Rick, it's real simple. You try to explain the points and the projection in the stages, and that's all fine. That's all done. Now it is 97 laps to go in the race. Everybody will have to make one more pit stop, and it's 3 points, 3 positions for Austin Cindric, who currently has 3 points, 3 positions, over Ross Chastain on the right side of your screen. Ross Chastain running in the 11th position. Austin Cindric running in the 6th position. Somewhere Chastain needs to find 3 spots, or Cindric needs to lose them for Chastain to advance. This is going to be a battle for the last 96 laps, Marty.
And Steve, that's exactly what Brian Wilson told Austin Cindric before the race. Leave the strategy to me. All I want you to do is focus on keeping our car in the top 10. He got those 8 stage points. Those are very key. And now has it where he needs it in the top 10, running 6, Kelly.
Well, no one needed to explain the situation to Ross Chastain. He was doing the math himself during that last stage break. He knew exactly how many stage points Austin Cindric had collected. He knew how many points he trailed them by, and he had a discussion with his crew team about strategy moving forward. He said, if we can't beat these guys straight up, maybe we need to try going opposite strategy of them. So, Steve, how much opportunity is there for varying strategies in this final stage?
Well, the longer we run, the opportunities dwindle. The reason I say that is because most everyone is inside their fuel window at this point. So a caution, people are going to pit. You can't stay on the racetrack. And then it really comes down to, will there be any more yellows? They have tires to put on if the yellows come, but it's all when the cautions fall. You have to have cautions for strategy to work. And you think about the 4 Ross Chastain, those 3 points. I only bring this up because we saw the tiebreaker last week with 3 cars. He ran 2nd at Richmond. So that's a pretty good tiebreaker. So really, if he can just get to tie 0 straight up with the 22 or the 2, he feels really good about that run at Richmond. Dave.
On the left, you see the 7 car of Justin Allgaier in 4th position as they run. They discuss their position in the championship after the stage end.
Points-wise, how are we doing right here? We doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing good. I know we just got 16 points, and everybody that we're racing got less than that, so I feel good about that.
So remember, starting 11 to the good, better than everybody else so far, 16 on us. They're in a better position. There's still 91 laps to go.
Look at this traffic. Look how tight it is. Allgaier's got to use a lot of patience right here.
And Brandon Jones in the 19, Daniel Hemrick in the 21. These two now fighting for the 14th spot.
So Daniel Hemrick was leading this race, had a penalty. He now is driven up to 14th, but he still is a solid half a track behind. So that's the problem. His track position and all these cars he's got to go through, he's going to have a caution. He's going to have some stuff happen for him to get himself back in position to win this race.
Jeff, no reaction at all on the radio from Daniel Hemrick once Danny Stockman told him that they were locked into the round of 8. And he certainly has made his way up through the field very quickly here. The car's been very good. The biggest problem for the 21, the longer they run, the tighter they get. So trying to sort of pounce on the early part of this run, get as many spots as he can, work his way back toward the top 10. But yeah, he's going to need a caution if he wants to fight for the win today.
And so many times he's been close. He was running up front, actually won the 2nd stage, but then speeding on pit road has put him back in the pack. Out front, it's Cole Custer looking for career win number.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shear?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Okay, one more.
All right, Benji.
Come on,
Benji.
yes, smile. Come on,
What about the flash?
Okay, one more. Benjamin, hold
Make
it
a flash,
sideways.
Benji. You have to back it up. You want to get everybody in. You can't get everybody in unless you back up. There you go.
I think you got it.
Take another
So,
shot. Take one more.
I think I blinked.
Escape to football at Buffalo Wild Wings and try our new game day menu featuring $5 cheeseburgers and fries, brats, cocktails, and pitchers.
I'm with Ricky Fowler, who made a roller coaster of a putt over a subtle buried elephant.
Or made a tough putt over a bump on the green.
Easy as always. I wish you were my mortgage guy. He's always saying, escrow this, VOE that, FHA. And what does PMI even mean, Rick? Back to you, Scott.
Dude, that got weird.
It really did.
Try Rocket Mortgage. It's simple.
Golf can be complex, but understanding your mortgage is simple. Get approved in as few as 8 minutes with Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender.
Spring. The culmination of new life. It has required a full season of rain to nourish and grow these wild blooms. But swift death arrives without warning. The circle of life, such a delicate thing. 4 changes everything.
Buy Xbox One, get Forza Horizon 4.
Get NASCAR coverage when you're on the go with NASCAR Mobile. It's the official app of NASCAR. It puts race coverage, live in-car cameras right at your fingertips. Search NASCAR in your app store or visit NASCAR.com/mobile. That's a pretty cool view as you look off the right side of Christopher Bell's car. Actually, he's going to see Dylan Welch here and I think he just went by him. Dylan?
Yeah, he sure did. We saw him drive right by us right when you were talking about that, Rick. We're out here outside of turn number 2, and it is an awesome view out here. And as this racetrack starts to widen out, you can see the guys moving all over this racetrack. Top, bottom, it's all up for grabs, and we love watching that play out from out here outside of turn number 2. Another guy who's having a good run today is Spencer Gallagher right there in that 23 car. A lot of teams doing some breast cancer awareness type and things like that. We've got Elliott Sadler with the pink car. Spencer Gallagher also has a pink car today. And above his door on his race car, he's got ribbons. One ribbon above the door for each member of the GMS Racing family that's been affected by breast cancer. That includes Spencer's grandmother and his cousin as well. So above the door frame there, you can see there's 6 total pink ribbons that just honor everybody in the GMS Racing family who's been afflicted with breast cancer.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah, Rick, my mother, actually breast cancer survivor. I appreciate all these teams doing this, supporting the cause.
The awareness. We know the one of Elliott Sadler, also a pink car. His mother, the breast cancer survivor. But Gallagher, what a run he has had already in this race. Running in the top 5.
Yeah, somebody that's not having a run that he needed on this run after the pit stop is go back to the 4 car, Ross Chastain. Michael Annett just got by him for 11th, and now Daniel Hemrick on his quest to get back to the front. He's putting a lot of pressure on Chastain as well. So Chastain getting ready to give up 2 spots in the last few laps.
And Jeff, the 21 car of Daniel Hemrick finding the sledding a little tough around Ryan Truex, who we just passed a moment ago, and also Ross Chastain. These guys fighting for their playoff lives. See both of them below the cut line, so they're racing him a little bit harder than maybe they anticipated. We said it on the pit stop, but see, one interesting thing with the 21, when they came down pit road last time, they expected to be in clean air, so they put some extra tape on the nose of that 21 car. Well, guess what? They've been in traffic. Now the water temperature way too high, running right now at 270 inside that 21 car.
Yeah, Daniel, that's just something he's going to have to manage. They can't make an adjustment now, so he's going to have to just try to poke his nose out, get clean air when he can, as now he looks to the inside of Ross Chastain. Another thing about pit stops, we talk about Ross Chastain and his battle with the 22 of Austin Cindric. Another pit stop coming. When you talk about big teams versus little teams, it's more than just horsepower, aerodynamics, budgets like that. Pit crews as well. That 22 car, they're ranked the 2nd best pit crew when you look at pit stop times overall this year. The 4 cars pit crew down in 23rd. So big advantage for Austin Cindric if there is another pit stop. Well, there will be. It's the question of if it's under yellow or green. Under green, surprisingly, a slower pit crew doesn't hurt you as much. Versus under yellow, a lot of positions can be lost.
And it has been, with the exception of the end of the stages, a caution-free race as Christopher Bell goes high. Justin Allgaier.
Bell's the first guy to be way up the racetrack. He started about 15 laps ago. Look how high he is. No one else is up here. There's guys up here, but not making the pace that Christopher is. Christopher's moved up the racetrack, and even on corner exit, using that high exit, he's not turning the car back to the bottom. Big run on Allgaier right here. Watch Christopher Bell. That top lane typically is really good on long runs. Let's see if he can run Cole Custer down. if he starts coming, Cole Custer's going to have to change his line. Cole will be getting communication from his spotter telling him, hey, what's going on in the back, and he'll have to change his line.
You wonder when that information is going to go through the rest of the field, right? Do the other spotters see that? We mentioned Ross Chastain. Is his spotter saying, hey, try the top, do something else? We're currently not in. We're 5 out. We have to do something different. If I'm Austin Cindric's spotter, don't move.
Yes.
Don't go up there, wear a right front tire. We're here to not make waves. 6 is good enough. Now, the 20, it's a win or nothing for him, so you might as well blaze a new path.
I think that's a great point. I think if you're a team that really can't afford to have a bad day, you just stay on the bottom. You don't want to be the first one out there because there's less rubber on the racetrack. It wears the tire out more. Christopher Bell, just go for it. You got it. And he is fast. He is way faster. He's about 0.2 a lap faster than Cole Custer right now.
While we're talking Christopher Bell, let's do a Toyota driver update on C. Bell, currently running in the second position after starting second today. He has been up front. Christopher Bell has led 47 laps already today.
He just ran 0.3 of a second better than Cole Custer. I mean, he is going to get there in just a few laps. Look how close he is already. So what does Cole Custer do, Steve? Is he being told right now by Tim Fido, his crew chief, jump up on the top, block that lane?
Oh, he's loose off, though. You saw the big wiggle out of 00. It's too late. Whatever information the 00 had, it's not going to work because the 20 is on him and going to easily go by the 00 for the race lead.
And guys, Tim Fido did say, hey, that 20 is running super high on the racetrack. Cole Custer, just stay where you're at. So they told him to stay in that middle lane. Don't worry about what the 20's doing. We're going to stick to our program.
Remember, he can't risk that tire issue you mentioned, Jeff. Much as he wants to win the race, he only came in at 14 above, right? Can't lose it in the last few laps of the race.
Christopher Bell back out front at Dover as we go NASCAR nonstop.
NASCAR fans, are you ready to take your Wi-Fi to the next level? Then you need Xfinity X5, a more powerful way to stay connected. It gives you super fast speeds for all your devices, Wi-Fi coverage that leaves no room behind, and lets you control your network with the X5 app. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience. Xfinity X5, proud partner of NASCAR.
Melty cheese, grilled onions, and steak on this foot-long Philly are so flavorful.
Man, do I love a good steakhouse.
Steakhouse, nice.
You would not believe what they are doing in there.
Making cheesesteaks?
What are you, one of them?
For a limited time, try classic or spicy foot-long Philly. This is how you Sonic.
Check out Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's for great deals on great gear. All the brands you want, just in time for fall. Clothing and gear for everyone. Like sturdy, stackable Plano Sportsman storage totes. Available in 3 sizes, starting at just $10.
Golden Corral's Beef Lovers Banquet. With our all-new bacon-wrapped sirloin filet, smoked beef brisket, portobello top sirloin, and golden delicious shrimp. The Beef Lovers Banquet. Golden Corral, your choice. Rules.
You know, I'd buy tires online, but then what?
We've thought about it. We're TireRack.com.
They should let you ship directly to a mechanic.
We call them independent recommended installers.
Then you just make an appointment.
At a time that's convenient for you.
This could change tire buying forever.
You can get this special offer when you buy a set of 4 select Goodyear or Dunlop tires. For details, go to TireRack.com/Goodyear Dunlop offer. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
$2.99 for a Car Hub Classic. What a steal.
Steal? That's a heist. Put this on.
Disguise.
I don't think I can eat in this. It's all part of the plan, my friend.
Get a quarter-pound double cheeseburger or a Slinger Plus Tots for $2.99. Try it today.
And here come the Irish.
The Fighting Irish march onward against a familiar foe, Pittsburgh.
Got the touchdown!
Notre Dame.
Ian pulls to the back of the end zone. Touchdown!
Next Saturday on NBC.
The midterms by the numbers. 23.
For Democrats to take the House, they need to flip 23 seats.
10.
There are 10 Democratic senators running for re-election in states that went for Donald Trump.
Nobody breaks it down like Kornacki on MSNBC.
This week, Wednesday Night Hockey is a Stanley Cup final rematch. The Vegas Golden Knights face Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. That's Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on NBCSN. And let's get a few updates on all the playoff drivers. We start with Dave.
Leader Christopher Bell tried that high line late in stage 1, and once the times came back, the crew said to him, yeah, that's a whole lot better. Let's keep that in mind. So after a few laps, he moved up there. Much better for Christopher Bell. Remember, he restarted 7th. He is to the lead, Marty.
Dave, just what the doctor ordered for Cole Custer right now in the second position, plus 25, very comfortably above the cut line. You know, this race team tried something different this weekend. They have tried cup setups here on the Xfinity side before. It's never worked until this weekend. They told me this is our worst racetrack in the playoffs. All of a sudden, we've made it one of our best, Dave.
You see right behind him, the red 7 of Justin Allgaier is catching Custer, but he doesn't like his race car right now. He's called it plowing tight. He wishes they would fix it on the last stop.
Marty, beginning of the weekend, Austin Cindric said, we have the least pressure on us because all we can do is go up from here, and he has done that. He came in -9 below the cut line. There he is in the 7th position. Now they are +5, doing exactly what he needs, plus those stage points, Kelly. Austin Cindric having a nice day here at Dover.
Elliott Sadler in the pink #1, also running a scheme in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. He said it's his favorite scheme to run of the year. He does it in honor of his mom, who's an 11-year breast cancer survivor. He said it would be so special to get this car into victory lane. But this car, this team really has not been able to find the handling on this car. He's been lacking rear grip primarily throughout the day. Behind him, you're going to see the 9 of Tyler Reddick. This is another team that really didn't get the handling or setup they really wanted during practice. But crew chief Dave Ellens told me their plan for today was really just to go out there and race the race that they're capable of. They just needed to have a clean, smooth day to advance to the next round. Right now, 15 points above the cutoff line.
And some nice and nifty moves for Daniel Hemrick up through the field. He has made his way into the top 10 for Hemrick, getting around Matt Tiff just a moment ago. And they have told him to be very patient, one spot at a time. Danny Stockman told me, we've been racing loose as a race team. Obviously, an announcement last week that he'll be moving to the Cup Series. Since then, Daniel feeling a little bit freer inside the race car. That has helped this race team, Dave.
Matt Tiff is a little bit loose, but that's in the rear of the race car. He radioed that in about 13 laps ago, but they gave him some positive news. They said, we are +8, that's what it was at the time, to the cutoff. So just keep doing what you're doing. Car is a lot better than it was at the beginning of the race. Kelly?
Well, Ross Chastain has lost a couple of spots in this stage. This car has just been a little bit too tight throughout the entire race, really was. Crew chief Gary Cogswell told me he feels like he's got one of the smartest, if not the smartest, race car driver out there. He said he knows exactly what he needs to do to give themselves a chance to advance in the playoffs. So right now, they've got 4 points still to make up for the 4 team.
And right behind him is Brandon Jones, whose day started off well with a 4th place finish in that opening stage. But after that slow first pit stop, it's dropped them back to about the 14th or 15th range, which is where they run right now. They have not been able to recover from that. The car just way too tight in traffic, and they've been stuck back there since the end of stage 1. Kelly?
Ryan Trost in the 11 car was really hard on himself last week after making a mistake at the Roval that caused some damage to their car, and they just couldn't overcome it. But he told me today he felt a lot better after he watched the Cup guys do much of the same last Sunday. Their plan today, hey, we've got nothing to lose. They know they had a big points haul to make up today, but this team also struggling to find the right grip on the race car, running 15th right now, Dylan.
And another driver who is not having the day they needed to have is Ryan Reed. They have just been loose all afternoon long, loose on entry, loose exit, but tight in the center. They are just struggling. Ryan is not happy, and again, that's not the day they needed. They needed to win, and right now they're not in any condition to do that, Rick.
Again, Ryan Reed is a lap down, running in the 18th position, the furthest back. And when you look at the playoff points and where they run, Ryan Reed 31 points behind the cutoff line. Christopher Bell won already in round 1, looking for his 2nd win of round 1 as we go NASCAR nonstop.
Real people, steel people. They want real power, real options, and real value. This fall, get a real solution. Get a Steel.
Your microwave doesn't need another frozen meal, and neither do you.
Only Carl's Jr. and Hardee's bring the heat with a variety of full-flavored all-star meals starting at $5. Get a real meal. Paid for by Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
When I was shopping for car insurance, the choice was easy. I switched to Geico and saved hundreds. Excuse me.
Winner.
That's a win, but it's not the only reason I switched. Hi. Geico has licensed agents who I can reach 24/7. Great savings and round-the-clock service. Now that's a win-win.
Winner.
Yay, me. Oh, hi. Good luck.
Switch to Geico. It's a win-win.
Wow.
Bank of America gives Rachel the power to stay on top of her money, so she's ready to make moves.
Think you can get this place? Really hope so. Erica, what's my credit score?
Your FICO score is 705.
That's good, right? Let me see. I think so.
Just talk, type, or tap to find better money habits, know-how, and more with Erica, your virtual financial assistant, only from Bank of America.
Some restaurants say you should drink your meals. Well, America deserves better. At Carl's Jr. and Hardee's, choose from a variety of full-flavored all-star meals starting at $5. Get a real meal. Paid for by Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
It only happens once a year, and it only happens here. The world will be watching as dreams are made, hopes are crushed, and championships earned. It's Ford Championship Weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway, November 16th to the 18th. 3 days of fun for the whole family with live music, tailgating, go-kart racing, and so much more. Plus, it's the only place to witness the crowning of 3 NASCAR champions. Call 866-409-RACE or go to HomesteadMiamiSpeedway.com for tickets.
And Christopher Bell continuing to lead here at Dover. Xfinity Series Championship position still on the line, and Christopher Bell already 5 wins on the season, has won this round at Richmond, now looking to get another win, potentially more playoff points that would make it a little bit easier to get through round 2. Is what all the drivers will be looking forward to if they advance out of this first round. Right now, 4 points separate Austin Cindric, who is on the right side of the cutoff line, to Ross Chastain, who now is below that cutoff line. 4 points separating those two drivers.
Hey, Rick, working lap 160 here when Christopher Bell crosses the line. That's going to mean about 15 to 20 laps from green flag stops. They cannot make it all the way here in stage 3 to the end of the race, which is very interesting. Number one, as a crew chief, Steve, you got to get ready for those green flag stops. But number two, more importantly, maybe, Jeff, as a driver, Dover Pit Road, one of the most difficult to execute correctly under green flag conditions.
Yeah, this is one of the most difficult pit roads because as a driver, it's very difficult to see. You're going so fast at this racetrack, and you hope these drivers practice pit road during practice. They did not do it. Some of them will miss it. You just cannot fathom that you're going to have to slow down as much as you do. And let's jump on board and see why it's so difficult, riding along with Justin Allgaier running in third place. So here he is on the front straightaway. You see, he's still running the bottom of the racetrack. So he drives into turn 1 and comes off turn 2. Start looking at that crossover bridge. That crossover bridge is a really good signal of where you have to lift. Pay attention to where he drives in the corner, though. He drives in the corner way deeper, but look to the left, and that's the entrance of pit road. That's why it's so easy to miss it. But not going to be a problem.
So you're saying green flag pit stops aren't going to happen as we see the 45 of Josh Bilicki has a lot of damage. Right rear tire looks like it has exploded on him.
The right rear quarter panel and the bumper cover is a little bent up.
A lot of damage, though, at that 45. You see it coming apart, and then up into the wall he goes. Bilicki was running in the 28th position when that happened. Steve, I was just getting ready to say, this is the longest they have run on these tires. Could there be a potential for a tire issue? And sure enough, 66 laps in, it happens.
Now you see why I was on the side of we're not going to see green flag pit stops, because this track, Goodyear can bring whatever they want, and it's just, you move up the racetrack. There's so many different things, and now the pressure, you were talking about how much pressure was on the driver to make sure he got on pit road. Well, it caution car speed. That should be pretty easy. Now it's on these guys right here. You're going to have a great stock. Christopher Bell surprisingly had trouble on pit road in that 20 car. You don't normally see that at Joe Gibbs Racing, but it has been a battle. How about the 22 of Austin Cindric in 7th position? Done everything they need to make it through the playoffs. Currently 4 points above. History would say they should have an advantage over Ross Chastain's pit crew. But one mistake, Austin Cindric could go all the way to the back.
So Daniel Hemrick is 9th right now. Steve, I know this is going to sound crazy, but with only, say, 36 or 35 green flag laps to go, could you try a 2-tire stop to try to get that track position to get up front? Because right now, if they all do a 4-tire stop, even if he gains 6 or 7 positions, he's still only 3rd or 4th on the restart.
Yeah, with 37 to go, though, you perhaps could see multiple restarts. I think it's too far to go on right sides. The answer is yes, you could risk it. 17, 15 to go, maybe I would. But 37 is a long run. I mean, remember, the first stage was only 45. The second stage was only 45. That's almost the length of one of those stages. And the concern, really, Rick, is you put brand new right sides on. If that left front isn't helping, that right front is going to be working extra hard. And even though they're locked in, you don't want to kill the momentum, right? Even if you don't win, you just want a good run.
And let's go back to Krista and Junior.
Yeah, Rick, we were just down here talking about, who is the pressure really on for these pit crews right now?
Well, obviously the pressure's on Ross Chastain's bunch to get him out in position to be able to race these guys. He has the car that's capable of beating the people that he needs to beat to put himself in position to make it to the next round. Can they give him the pit stop to do that? That'll be important going forward for these guys.
Yeah, and I say it's on the 22, and I know the guys were talking about that because he was in the position to transfer. It all comes down to this pit stop because he was running 7th on the track, Ross Chastain 13th when this caution came out. So, they talk about this is where you earn your money on this pit stop right now.
Yeah, Ross's car has been a little tight, so they'll make some adjustments to try to improve that and give him a better car for this next run. They just need to be able to put him in position, come out in 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, somewhere around there where he can at least try to race his way into position to do what he needs to do. The 22 car seems like he's doing what he needs to do, staying out of trouble, and having a pretty solid day.
So, Steve, your former crew chief said he wasn't surprised to see the caution come out. Wasn't going to go green. What do you think? Were you surprised, or you said, nope, this is Dover?
I was, I wasn't expecting it to go all the way green. There's just, with the tire wear, I was not surprised at all to see Josh Blakey with a right rear tire issue and a tire come apart like that. They're just running high on the racetrack. It just wears the tire out, and we haven't been able to see a lot of long runs here today to understand really what these tires are doing. So there you go. I think all the Cup guys are seeing that. The Xfinity guys are seeing that now. 65 laps in, you have to start thinking about what you're going to do as far as pitting and coming to get tires around that point.
Are you having a good time up here?
I am. It's fun. It's a great perspective from the pit box to be able to see the race. We have a lot of tools up here with the monitors and the lap times and everything, and the points as they run. And I get to listen to Steve and the guys up in the booth and see what they're doing.
I know you chime in every now and then. You're just like you're giving them some.
Yeah, I'm texting and carrying on and telling them what I'm seeing. I'm really surprised by the high line here today. I mean, I've seen guys run high, but boy, Christopher Bell's taking it to a new level. I know some of the Cup guys are watching this race and glad to see this groove opening up.
Meaning
like
what when you say taking it to a new level?
Well, he's really running really high.
Okay.
And so I say a new level. I'm talking about maybe a couple feet higher than I anticipated the groove getting and higher than we usually see it here. We see a second and third groove opening up. Christopher Bell is really carrying that groove high off of turn 2. And so that'll be interesting to see if that continues tomorrow.
And the fact that we had such a long Cup practice. There was an 80-minute Cup practice before this Xfinity race. Is that playing into anything, kind of changing that groove?
I think it put a lot of rubber down, and it's allowed this groove to get wide like that in this race. So that was great for those guys in the Cup Series to have that lengthy practice, to be able to really widen that groove up in practice. It's transferred and continued to widen out in this Xfinity race. But you see that bottom groove getting cleaned up right now. Those guys slow down under caution and take that rubber back up. It's basically a green track down there on the bottom again. And the cars kind of changed so much from stop to stop and caution to green flag and so forth because of that.
All right, as we get ready for pit stops, let's send it back upstairs. Rick, Steve, Jeff, Junior's going to continue to text you, I'm sure.
Yeah, we got a little a bat phone, too, that we've been able to talk back and forth with. So we always appreciate that input from him. And the big pit stops right here about to happen. The field coming to you, Dave.
Rick, just to make sure
Quick
his team
shout
understood,
out
third place
to
Justin
Next
Allgaier
Gen
told them the right rear feels like it has 1,000 pounds of air in it. So they'll make an air pressure adjustment, give him 4 fresh Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel, Marty.
Cole Custer will work his way to his pits all day. They said do not get greedy on pit road. They busted the 21 last time, so very cautious here on pit road for that 00 car. He said, I need more center turn, but you cannot hurt my exit. So they're going to make some changes with air pressure here to that 00 car. Meanwhile, Austin Cindric comes in running 7th, doing exactly what he needs, above the cut line, right where he needs to be, cleanly into his stall for him. He said, we have really good fire-off speed, but I need a little more long-run speed. So Brian Wilson making the call for an air pressure adjustment on that 22 car. We'll see if that first stall pays off for him. There you go. A team taking 2 tires. Brandon Jones plus 13 on pit road, Rick.
Brandon Jones is going to try at a 2-tire stop. We'll see if it works out for him. Ross Chastain on the other end had one of their worst stops. We've stayed NASCAR nonstop.
Toyota, let's go places.
Melty cheese, grilled onions, and steak on this foot-long Philly are so flavorful.
Man, do I love a good steakout.
Stakeout, nice.
You would not believe what they are doing in there.
Making cheesesteaks?
What are you, one of them?
For a limited time, try classic or spicy foot-long Philly. This is how you Sonic.
Check out Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's for great deals on great gear. With the season's best selection of the gear you need, just in time for fall. Clothing and gear for everyone. Like select redhead long sleeve shirts starting at under $15.
What's the secret to a great steak at home? Ordering it from Outback. Easily enjoy all your favorites when you order Outback delivery or curbside takeaway right now. Outback Steakhouse. Aussie rules.
Don't you get the best price booking at one of those travel sites? They tell you that, but when you book at Hilton.com, you get the price match guarantee. So if you find your room at a lower rate, Hilton is like, we're going to match that rate and give you an extra 25% off. What would travel sites do if you found a better price? That's not my problem. It's your problem. Get out of here. Wow, really felt that performance. It's just acting. I'm really good at it. Book at Hilton.com and get the Hilton price match guarantee. If you find a lower rate, we match it and give you 25% off that stay.
$2.99 for a Car Hop Classic. What a steal.
Steal. That's a heist. Put this on.
Oh, disguise.
I don't think I can eat in there. It's all part of the plan, my friend.
Get a quarter-pound double cheeseburger or a Slinger Plus Tots for $2.99. Try it today.
In the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs, these drivers are out to make their name.
We ain't going down without a fight.
Crazy, fast, and risky.
Who can adapt? Who can overcome? And who can handle the pressure the best?
The one who forges it into history will be the one who lays it all on the line.
It's Xfinity Series Racing. It's the Bar Harbor 200. Only 30 laps to go in this elimination race. And we mentioned that the 4 had a bad pit stop. Well, it got worse. He was caught for speeding also.
And the biggest problem with that is his penalty is to the tail end of the longest line, which means he's not going to line up behind all the guys that he needs to try to pass to get some positions. He's going to have a lot of work to do to get through the lap cars before he can ever be racing for position.
Dylan.
And some big strategy being played here by Brandon Jones, this 19 team. Take a listen to what he and crew chief Chris Gabehart discussed on the radio.
I told you it might not be pretty, but I'd give you a shot at this thing. You'll be restarting P1, clean them up, work your engine. See that, brother?
And they wanted clean air. They said that was going to make them better than they've been since that slow stop at the end of stage number 1. They wanted clean air. They want to be out front. They think they're in good shape now.
Would you want to be on the outside, though? We haven't seen the outside win any start yet.
So think about this. The 19 on 2 tires. Something in my head is just taking me back to that restart when Brad Keselowski and Kyle Larson wrecked at the Roval. We weren't even talking about Kyle Larson. He won playoff points. What do you mean? He's going to maybe win this race. All of a sudden, it's man, he's in a wreck, and Almirola's in a wreck, and can he make minimum speed? So we keep talking about Cindric and Ross Chastain because they are the 2 to focus on, but none of these guys, Jeff, you said it from the start, right? Allgaier, he looks good, but he's not safe. The one of Elliott Sadler's not safe. Tyler Reddick's not safe. This restart, an accident here could easily end someone's playoffs hopes.
And for Brandon Jones to pull this off, it's all about the launch. He's got old tires. He's going to have to try to find a way to get those old tires to make some grip to beat Christopher Bell in turn one. It's going to be very, very hard to do.
And no, Rick, I don't like the outside.
Coming up on 29 laps to go. Brandon Jones on the outside. Christopher Bell on the inside.
And Brandon Jones got as good of a launch as you could expect to get on old tires.
Middle of the racetrack. He's going to lose the lead. Here comes Cole Custer. He's going to take second away. Spencer Gallagher, maybe a little bump there to get the 19 going, but here comes Ryan Preece in the 18. He's going to take the spot away as well.
Spencer Gallagher, his nerves are high right now. He just doesn't have anywhere to go. He's stuck behind Brandon Jones. All these cars are lined up on the bottom. He's going to have to remain calm here, though. He cannot push too hard and cause that wreck you were talking about, Steve.
Austin Cindric in the middle of this mess, that white number 22. He's trying to race, but at the same time, not too aggressively, right? Needs to keep this thing going straight.
Daniel Hemrick, you see him diving around, trying to find a spot in the 21, trying to move by that one of Elliott Sadler. Again, Elliott Sadler in the one, we mentioned he's not safe. Elliott Sadler currently just 16 points above the cut line, and he needs to get a good finish here if he wants to advance and hopefully have a shot at winning his first championship in the Xfinity Series in his last season.
And you can see the one car, he lifted early getting into turn one, overdrove the entry, and that gave that spot to the one car. And that's a relief right there. That's what he needed. He did not like the 21 right up underneath him while he was underneath the 42. Now he is in a much, much safer position.
6 points separate the 2 and the 4. That means the 2 has to come back or the 4 has to advance those 6 positions to change hands. Currently out of the playoff picture will be the 4, the 19, the 11, and the 16. 25 laps to go.
And Ross Chastain has passed all of the lap down cars. He's now to the back of cars that are going to count for points as he squeezes up in front of the 39. The 2 of Matt Tift right in front of him. That's a point.
And it'd be a 2-point swing right there because he would take a spot away from Tift and gain 1 on himself. So that'd be 4 then that would separate the 2.
Oh, the old double bonus.
Yes.
Yes.
And they've been keeping the 2 driver, Matt Tift, very aware of where the points are as he tries to work by cars to gain points. He knows that drivers around him are trying to take them away.
And I think Ross Chastain understands his position, which is, you know what? It's just pressure. Even if I can't do anything else, pressure, pressure, pressure. Force these drivers to beat him.
And this is a difficult pass, driving underneath the 60 of Briscoe. Your car gets really loose. Chastain making him loose with the rear bumper. Oh!
Up the racetrack, he catches the 60. Into the wall he goes. Caution comes out.
Hold your line here. Hold your line. Stay straight.
An aggressive move by a driver who's trying to continue his playoff hopes.
Chase Briscoe in that 60. He won the most recent race. Won at the Charlotte Roval. He got into the wall. The caution came out. That means restart. Matt Tift.
So Tift needs to be cool here. He cannot lose his cool. I know he's upset, and I'd be upset too at Ross Chastain, but he's going to have to keep his cool here. Don't damage your car under caution. Just be cool here, man. You're going to get a restart. Get him back in.
Right side looks fine. This thing will pop back out. The letters are off the tires.
Take another look at what just happened.
See the contact. The 2 was in a difficult spot. He was underneath the 60. He didn't have the air on the car. Chastain drove in there, made contact, moved the 2 out of the way. You see right here, it's an aggressive driver from Chastain, but there's a price to pay for that. Now the 2 cars started behind you. So if the 2 car needs to move you, you just gave him a position slip. Hey, man, I drove you like that. That means you can drive me the same way. That's the way I view it.
We haven't seen tires worth a lot of speed. But with 8 laps, I think most of the guys have another set of tires. Would anyone at the back of the field, we know the leaders aren't going to pit, but you mentioned Tift, right? Would he come, get 8-lap fresher tires? Would that be just enough to get be on the the offensive?
That's going to be the question. We'll answer it on the other side of the break. Will anyone take a chance and come to pit road before this next restart?
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shear?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
It's the same color as downstairs.
It's called Tuscan sand. Let's show them the nursery.
Oh, great idea.
Escape to football at Buffalo Wild Wings and try our new game day menu featuring $5 cheeseburgers and fries, brats, cocktails, and pitchers.
I'm with Ricky Fowler, who made a roller coaster of a putt over a subtle buried elephant.
Or made a tough putt over a bump on the green.
Easy as always. I wish you were my mortgage guy. He's always saying, escrow this, VOE that, FHA. And what does PMI even mean, Rick? Back to you, Scott.
Dude, that got weird.
It really did.
Try Rocket Mortgage. It's simple.
Golf can be complex, but understanding your mortgage is simple. Get approved in as few as 8 minutes with Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender.
Line all day.
Xfinity Series, they'll move on to the round of 8 in their playoffs. That's 2 weeks from today at Kansas on NBCSN. So 12 drivers fighting right now for the 8 spots that will be the start of round 2 for the Xfinity Series in Kansas. But tomorrow, it's the start of round 2 for the Monster Energy Cup Series. And the countdown to green gets us started at 1:30. Then racing here at the Monster Mile at 2 o'clock. Post-race coverage and victory lap will follow that.
Man, Rick, this is going to be exciting. You got Chastain starting 14th, Cindric starting 8th, Tift behind the 4. I feel like last week all over again. I'm trying to figure out where I need to be watching.
I wonder what the 2 of Matt Tift is going to do, Dave.
Well, there may have been some contact earlier from Tiff. Listen to his radio.
Yeah, I didn't touch him that hard. What an idiot. Okay, so the way we run right now with that 4 in front of you and you right there, we are still 4 points to the good, okay? If he goes up there and starts passing cars, we got to do the same, bud.
Didn't touch him that hard. Sounds like that might have been a little bit of a payback when Ross drove through, Marty.
Hey, Dave, before the race, remember Austin Cindric predicted to me chaos, and here it is. All of a sudden, late in the race, we have some points players who could definitely be in some interesting positions. They've told Austin exactly the scenario. They've told him, we're tied with a 2. We cannot give up any more spots. Just +4 above that cut line, Rick.
Okay. Once again, it comes down to the final. It's going to be 17 laps. And it's 4 positions. 4 positions on the racetrack.
4 positions, and I like the decision of the leader, Christopher Bell. He said, I've been watching this race, and the inside lane seems to be the place to be, so he's going to start on the inside. Now we'll see if anything works like it should. It probably won't work this time and prove us all wrong, but
Christopher Bell in the 20 on the inside. Cole Custer in the 00 on the outside.
This outside lane probably is going to move. Remember that 19 car, he's on 2 tires.
Ross Chastain in the 4, went high. Trying to get the momentum built up. Now all over the back bumper of Tyler Reddick. How aggressive will they be? Chastain trying to clear that 5 of Mike Lynette and get by the 9 of Tyler Reddick. Fighting for his playoff hopes to stay alive.
I like Tyler Reddick's move there. He doesn't need to be in this battle. He's 10 above. Let the 4 go.
It is a 1-point difference between the 2 and the 4.
And Ryan Reed got by the 2 of Tift.
And that means the 1 point difference goes in the advantage of Ross Chastain. He moves to the high side now.
He just told Matt Tiff, we are out. We got to go, bud. We got to go.
If it's a tie, the tiebreaker now goes to Ross Chastain in the 4. He has a second-place finish in this round.
And you can see the way Chastain is driving. He's driving as if his life depends on it. You know, he got in the back of Tiff. He just cut at net right off, you know, trying to get that position. He has to, though. He's got to be super aggressive. That's what's got him in this position. Way up the racetrack, trying to carry too much speed. He's going to have to back his speed off now. These tires are getting hot. He's still trying to run that same pace he had. They're 3 wide into 3.
He doesn't want to lose any spots. Ross Chastain trying to stay in front of the 9. Now the 2, if he's able to clear the 16, which he's not able to do, would have given him that 1 position and 1 point advantage.
And out front, Bell is ahead of Custer. You're not missing anything up front.
Yeah, Mike Lynette got by the 4. That was the point. That makes Ross Chastain currently out. Matt Tiff is the one good thing for Matt Tiff. He's the last car in the lead lap. He can't lose any more spots. It's all really what Ross Chastain can do.
If Ross Chastain, if Ross gets 1 more spot and is in a tie with the 2,
the 2 got in the back of the 16 off of 2.
And with that, he gets by Ryan Reed. That is 1 position, so there's 2 points now.
You see right here, Tiff got a big run in the middle of the corner, got into the back of the 16, moved him out of the way. Things are getting rough.
Oh, yes.
Playoff hopes.
Actually, he didn't touch him.
Just got right up to the back bumper, but didn't touch him. Now, coming up on 10 laps to go.
And Jeff, as you mentioned, Chastain seemed to be maybe a little aggressive, but now he's settled in. And as he settles in, he has run Mike Lynette back down. Currently 0.3 of a second behind him. Elliott Sadler in front of him. So a little overdriving, gathered himself, making that final charge, 10 to go.
Again, Ross Chastain will have the tiebreaker because that would be a second-place finish at Richmond. It's the best finish of the round between the 2 that are tied.
Here's Tiff underneath his teammate. Going to take that spot.
It's another spot, another point. Takes it away from Shane Lee.
Matt Tiff's patience here. I'm impressed with the patience. I didn't know if that was going to work, but his patience has turned out to be the smartest thing he could do.
Well, Ross Chastain has done it. He said, I can't follow in line. I'm going to move up. He runs the top of the racetrack. Big run on the 5 of Michael Lynette. If this will work a couple corners in a row, there are 4 positions in front of Chastain. Can he put together some of the best laps of his career? That's what he's going to need to get by these cars. Didn't work as well in 1 and 2.
Yeah, if he can make it work, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Tiff because Tiff's not really behind anybody. He's pretty far back, the 9-car Reddick. See how far back he is? He's got a ton of work to do to get to anybody else to pass, where Chastain has a lot of spots right in front.
Yeah, currently up front, Christopher Bell leads Colt Custer by a half a second. Not much of a change there.
All eyes right now, Ross Chastain. And what can he do? He has to pass 3 cars. Saw a car making its way into the garage.
I liked it better when he was running the top of 3 and 4. He just can't seem to make any ground on the bottom. I like the bottom of 1 and 2, the top of 3 and 4.
6 laps to go. And the positions get further and further away for Ross Chastain as the laps continue to dwindle down.
You see the 19 car, he's getting a lot of pressure from Hemrick, but I bet that 19 car on 2 tires, he's hung in there pretty well, still in 6th place.
Doing a wonderful job, and I think Cindric right here needs to ask himself, does he want to get into battle with a 21?
No.
Currently 3 to the good.
Listen in to Matt Tift and their radio.
That's 3, so he's got to pass 3. The 4's got to pass 3 of them. Yeah, he might. You never know. He's going to get this 5.
All right, 4 laps to go. They think he might get the 5 of Annette. He's there at the back bumper.
Yeah, I agree. He might get the 5. Elliott Sadler's kind of got away a little bit.
Tiff might get the 9, though.
I like this line right here for Ross Chastain at this end of the racetrack. He gives some speed up on entry, but look how good he gets off on the corner exit. A lot of speed down the exit.
But now just 3 laps to go. 3 laps, 3 positions. He'd have to get at least a spot a lap unless someone has a problem in front of him.
Got a big run down the back straight.
Working the high line. Annette running strong down at the bottom, though. 2 laps to go. Austin Cindric. Matt Tifft right now 3 points ahead of the 4 of Ross Chastain.
So here's the race leader. The 20 of Christopher Bell takes a white flag.
That's 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank for Christopher Bell. And Christopher Bell looking for his 6th win of 2018. And as a rookie, this will be the most wins ever in a season by a rookie. Christopher Bell coming out of turn 4. He will win at the Munster Mile.
Awesome car, guys. Awesome car. Thank you.
And the playoff picture will end for Ross Chastain. Brandon Jones, Ryan Truex, and Ryan Reed all below the cutoff line when the checkered flag flew. What a rookie season Christopher Bell has put together. It's a historic season for Christopher Bell, the most wins by a rookie in the Xfinity Series.
Some good names on that list.
Greg Biffle, Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, the winningest ever driver in the Xfinity Series, closing in on 100 wins. And Christopher Bell looking for another championship. Not in the Xfinity Series. He's got one in the Truck Series now. Wanting to add his name in the Xfinity Series column as far as champion. As he burns it down up against the wall. The smoke rolling out underneath the 20. What a performance Christopher Bell has put on here today. He won stage 1, then had to fight back from the stage 2, and it worked out for him. The 9 degrees of banking, not enough to move that car down the track. I'm thankful for that.
Got a little bit of experience. He probably left that thing in gear.
And Christopher Bell has always been a generous one, and he's going to give the checkered flag away as well. And a young fan waving that checkered flag now. Kelly.
And surely Christopher Bell has just made another new young fan. What a performance today. Winning stage 1, you guys look dominant. Didn't make it easy on yourselves. 6 wins now, your rookie season. That's more than guys like Kyle Busch put up in their rookie year. What's it like to join a list like that?
Yeah, come on down here. The car's rolling back. But it's been a lot of fun this year. This team has just I've never been quitting, man. They keep giving me really fast race cars, and it's an honor to drive for this company, this group of people, everyone at Ream, GameStop, Rude, all of our partners that have been on this car all year long, man. It's just it's been a ton of fun.
All right, we know you made at least one new fan, but what does it mean to see this crowd out here at Dover?
It's pretty special, man. To see all these people that come out today, thank you. If it's not for the fans, then we wouldn't be out here. So it's an honor to have to be able to race in front of a crowd.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm going to hop in this thing before it rolls back.
Because he has to get to victory lane. That's what he's worried about, making it that direction. Now, look at the playoff leaderboard. So round 1 completes the round of 8. Christopher Bell, Hemrick, Allgaier, Custer, Sadler, Reddick, Cindric, and Tifft all advancing. One that didn't make it out of the first round, Ross Chastain standing by with Martin.
Rick, you can't take away the storybook season, certainly can't take away the win that happened earlier this year, but for Ross Chastain, the playoff run is over with. Walk me through those final 17 laps after that restart. You moved the 2. Were you thinking for a moment we're in the right spot?
Well, it's too many mistakes on my part, first of all. I sped on pit road there, just trying to roll up to those guys and be the best we could, and so I got us behind, and then just playing catch up from there. And we had the car, looking at it now to do it. I was just trying to go by those guys, so he ran into me after we stopped down there for the lug nut check, but I'm not sorry at all. This is awesome. This 4-car and what we've done with JD Motorsports and Chip Ganassi Racing to help me get here, running that car a couple times there by DC Solar is awesome, and I don't apologize for what I do on the racetrack. I bring my friends with me, and our user Melon Chevy was fast enough to do it, so it's racing, man. It's awesome. We were in the heart of it. We did our job, coming here, and we got a lot to be proud about.
Who would have thought it? This race team, this small race team, made it to the round of 12. Dylan, they nearly made it to the round of 8.
Well, and the guy that just beat him for that spot is Matt Tifft. You can breathe, sigh of relief. Take us through, what is it like when you are in that position and you were trying to go get every single position you can? How intense is that behind the wheel?
Well, it was very intense, especially the last part of the race. We weren't very good today. We've had a lot of really good, strong runs, but unfortunately today just wasn't one of them. But, just getting ourselves back in the hornet's nest, between 5th and 20th place back there is going to be a mess. So I got underneath the 60 car, and I don't know. I guess he was just going to drive through us. Luckily, I was able to save it. But, we got out of it, and we're able to focus on the next round. That's out of my head now. And we got big picture things to worry about. And, we've had some great top 5 runs to this first round. So we got a lot of speed. We'll find it back, and we're focused on the championship. We don't need to worry about that.
The bumper tap on the 4-car coming back in, what was that about?
Yeah, foot slipped off the clutch and tapped. Might even mean anything, honestly. But, like I said, we got bigger things to worry about. If we didn't make it, I might be a little more upset, but we made it through and we did what we need to do, so we'll get better.
He's on to the next round by 3 points. Matt Tifft continues to race on. Guys.
Christopher Bell, the 23-year-old from Norman, Oklahoma, gains his 6th win of the season.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
Your she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shear?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Okay, one more.
All right, Benji.
Come on,
Benji.
yes, smile.
What about the flash?
Okay, one more. Benjamin, hold
Make
it
a flash,
sideways.
Benji. You have to back it up. You want to get everybody in. You can't get everybody in unless you back up. There you go.
I think you got it.
Take another
shot.
Take one more.
I think I blinked.
Escape to football at Buffalo Wild Wings and try our new game day menu featuring $5 cheeseburgers and fries, brats, cocktails, and pitchers.
Victory Lane at the Monster Mile belongs to Christopher Bell and the 20 team from Joe Gibbs Racing. I'm not sure what I got hit with, but it felt kind of good. And that's even better. So you bypassed the Biff, Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards as a rookie in this series. It's pretty special, but getting the 20 back into Victory Lane in the playoffs, what does that mean to you?
Means the world to me, man. To be able to have the season that we've had, it's just it's been a career year for me, and it's all credit to everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing and my crew chief Jason Ratcliffe, everyone that works back at the shop to put these Camrys together. We have really fast race cars every time we go to the racetrack, and all of our partners deserve it. Everyone that's on these race cars. Today we had Ream on the car. Other weeks we've had Rude, GameStop, everyone that makes this thing happen. I'm just really thankful to be a part of it and to drive for those companies.
You did not, lambast your crew after that pit stop that put you back. Is that a conscious decision by you? Because then they came back for you.
Man, we're all in this together, and I've sped down pit road before. I've butchered restarts, and they don't yell at me, so it's not my job to yell at them. They know, and they came back rebounded better than ever.
Team sport, Christopher Bell's team is in Victory Lane, Kelly.
Well, it's a top 10 finish for Ryan Truex, but unfortunately your playoff run comes to an end. You guys come up just a little bit short, but reflect on what this run has meant for you and this team.
It was a good run for us. Like I said earlier, I screwed up in qualifying and got us behind, and it's so hard to pass here in these cars. The 21 was a dominant car. He got back in traffic and never could get up there. It's all really what lane you get on restarts, and once that shuffles out, you're kind of stuck. So luckily I had a good restart at the end and got our leaf filter, gutter protection Chevy up in the top 10, and we're able to stay there. Just too little too late. Yeah, if we could have got some track position, got some stage points, we might have had a shot at it. But I don't know. We'll see what next year holds, and hopefully I'll be back.
Well, still a handful of races left to go this season. What is this team capable of?
I think at this point now we got nothing to lose at all. We could take more chances, be more aggressive with setup and strategy and everything. And, for me, it's the typical heading to the offseason. I don't know what I'm doing next year. So for me, it's kind of a tryout for next year. So I'll do everything I can, and hopefully we can get ourselves some trophies.
Ryan, thank you. Dylan?
And Kelly caught up with Daniel Hemrick, who had one of the best cars in the field in the early portion of this race, but that speeding penalty really set you guys back. Able to rebound to 7th, but how would you evaluate the day overall?
I evaluate my pit road deal there unacceptable, so I apologize to everybody back at RCR, ECR, Chevrolet for a mistake that I thought I was being careful on, apparently not. So once again, 2 weeks in a row on me. I got to clean a lot of things up on my end to be able to give this race team what they deserve, but what a race car. To come here, sit on the pole, to be able to be that good into the stages, win a stage, says a lot about where the South Point Hotel Casino Chevrolet team is. So good thing is get a week off. I guess get my mental state a little better, because what I've done the last 2 weeks is unacceptable. And I'm extremely proud of these guys, proud of Danny Stockman, his leadership, and the direction we're going as a race team. And happy to see teammate Matt Tiff there get in by 3 points. I heard it was a heck of a battle for those last couple spots. So hopefully fans enjoyed the show. Thanks to Xfinity. Thanks to Chevrolet again, all the people that allow us to come out here and race. And I'll figure out how to close one of these deals out eventually, but wear me out. It's part of it, though.
Daniel Hemrick finishes 7th today. Marty?
Cole Custer finishes 2nd, Dylan. And for a guy who told me this racetrack was one of his worst in the playoffs, wound up being a pretty good day.
Yeah, I mean, we struggled here bad in the first race, but, my crew chief, Jeff, and my engineers, Bruce and DJ, went to homework, did their homework and worked really hard to try and make our car better, and it paid off, because we were definitely one of the fastest cars here. We had a really fast Haas Nation Mustang, but also found some stuff in the Ford simulator, so that was awesome. But it's just, it was a lot about track position there, and I hate that I gave up the lead there on that long run, but that's kind of what cost us. But, we have some good momentum going, so we'll see what happens.
How about the momentum going into the round of 8, and where you guys feel like those tracks stack up for the 00 team?
Yeah, I mean, I think this round was tough because it wasn't our best tracks, but it was they were really risky tracks. So I think, this next round should be more of our strong suit, going to 1.5 miles and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Nice week off for the Xfinity Series coming up. Cole Custer ready to tackle that round of 8, Rick.